focus of this lesson was to use the creative process to get the students to explore and discover non-traditional string sounds on their instruments, and then afterwards creating a composition using those newfound sounds.
I didn't realize that we could also do like drumming, we could do percussive stuff onto the instruments.
We're going to take a look at a bowing called colegno. Use the back of the bow actually. Don't touch. Anyone know how this would be notated on your music? Giving them a variety of ways to notate, such as using words, text, symbols, using certain drawings or graphic notation. So we're going to take a look at the piece right in front of you. It's a piece by Kai Marshall. She's a Canadian composer. I always feel it's important to include Canadian work, especially in the string world. Gives them more of an opportunity to be proud of being Canadian, and also using Canadian works really supports Canadian composers. What do you notice?
Tap bow or pencil on bridge.
Try to replicate what she's asking you to do. What about violins? Do you see something different?
Stop strings lightly, so no pitch. Brush strings vertically, holding bow in from frog.
Okay, so how would you interpret that? Good. Describe that sound. Sort of like
Something scratching.
something scratching, like a
Raccoon.
depending on what part of the country you live in. Let's try that together. 1, 2, 3, go. Quarters. Everybody? Try to read this piece together, everybody. 1, 2, 9, go. They had to explore and discover new sounds unique to their instruments that they could make that are non-traditional.
Their natural kind of desire to explore and to be adventurous, and like just with the improvisation activity we did today, that was awesome.
I think it's really important to provide students with opportunities to explore outside their limits in order to take risks. So I think that's really important when I look at evaluating musical skills.
I really saw some kids that were, they tended to be on the quiet side, really shine today, and that was amazing. Like some kids, like I didn't even know that they could like produce the sounds that they could.
And then Joy said it reminded her a little bit of another instrument.
Erhu?
Like the erhu, the Chinese stringed instrument.
This is such an awesome kind of like jumping off point into getting kids introduced to musical traditions from all over the world.
One's higher, and then this one's lower, and then the one at the back is the lowest.
When we loosened our end pins and we tapped it inside the cello, it's a percussive sound.
They were to share what they learned in their homogeneous string groups. They had to compose a composition or create a composition using those newfound sounds. We co-constructed basic expectations that they would need in order to go off and create their compositions.
Learning things and then getting the chance to actually use the things that you learn in a way that maybe reflects you as opposed to the person that taught you is a really good thing.
it.
Elspeth loved it.
And I also like that you guys layered instead of just all coming in at once. And different sounds worked really well together.
Having feedback, one of the most critical things in music, because it tells you what you're doing well, what you can improve on the next time.
I think it's really important to provide students with a positive, safe, and a trust environment for them to be able to explore new things.
I feel very comfortable exploring creatively in this class because of the sort of nurturing environment that we receive from Mr. Leong as well as our fellow students.
To make these kind of music, you have to be really confident in yourself. You also need to say that you want to be a little bit immature.
And they're allowed to just make fools of themselves. They're allowed to laugh. They're allowed to express whatever they like, and it's okay.
Having the opportunity to play in a non-traditional way and having our own imagination and creativity into it, it brings more of a musician into all of us.
So it's really, really valuable to get the teacher's opinion because they've had so much experience, but also to get your peers' opinions because ultimately they're going to be the ones that you're trying to please. They're going to be the ones that you're writing for. They're going to be the ones who are going to be playing your music.
In terms of assessment of learning, to get the feedback from their peers and then try to apply that in their final project.
And then as soon as we all brush, we all transition to the next.
So like one at a time. So we like take turns like texture, like layering it. Yeah.
Keep in mind, I'm trying to like change their dynamics, going up and down, if you can. Our piece is called "Say How We Feel." It's in a round binary form. We also incorporate some improvisation, so we hope you enjoy.
I know you start like the light, and then I go.
And I'll add the staccato going upside down.
We'll start quieter and get louder to add more dynamics. We named our piece Storm and hope you guys enjoy it.
We got some feedback from other groups that had kind of an Indian feel to it or an Indian sound. Here it is, Indian Sunset.
I always tell my students it's okay to make mistakes because we learn from our mistakes. And a lot of times I feel like I have to tell them, I give you permission to make mistakes. And I think that's really an important statement. When I was little, everything had to be perfect. And it didn't allow me to think outside the box. And I think with these students, I think it's important from my experiences learning from a very structured way of learning the violin that I never got an opportunity to do improvisation or find new sounds. I think this is really important for the students to see a new way to learn and to discover new things.
The 4 factors that would be good for this piece is something more of like a colorful rhythmic thing on the instrument, and you could do more of like a solid pulse, and then that'll add the percussive part to my melody and his effects. Okay, so our piece is called Debussy Groove. We're trying to incorporate the percussive side of music along with the melodic side and switch it up in between.
Giving opportunities to kids to become leaders is important to music because it helps the general creation of sound in the orchestra.
Okay, so start with that inlet. Then you. And we renamed ours to the Saunter of the Cow because he wasn't moving that fast. Oh my god, he saw a lady cow. The end.
It's a really positive environment to try different things and experiment with your instrument to find interesting or new ways to perform on it.
It's discovering new things about their instrument, about their bodies, about their life, about their creative side, and things like that. And I feel that as a teacher, I think it's important to provide them with these tools. It's important for them to be genuine and be able to act as themselves. If they're unhappy, they're going to be unhappy. And I don't think a cookie mold is always the solution. So I think it's important for them to just be themselves.